My path. פיליפ Lehrer, hello to you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Great to have you with us. If you would choose from your new book one episode, one story that you want them to be part of the international reader, what story would you pick?
I think that from the age of 38 onwards, which was quite late, the karate was the main element in my life. And I think that the reason that the karate was the main element in my life was because of this man here,
Wow.
Kazi Sensei. Kazi Sensei, who was the teacher of my teacher.
The teacher of your teacher.
The teacher of my teacher. He was the same way that my teacher, Dirk Hehner, who is now a 9th degree black belt, who lives in Belgium, and who I trained with 4 times during the past couple of weeks. I would have trained with him every day, but he lives very far from where I was, and I had to take a train to get to him. But I trained 4 times with him, and the trainings were very good, very technical. His teacher was Kazi Sensei, and Kazi Sensei was a very special man. When he was 16 years old, he was a candidate kamikaze pilot. 16 years old.
Wow.
And his whole life he smiled. Even when he hit you hard, he used to smile. He had a beatific smile. People asked him, why'd you smile the whole time? He says, because I was on the cusp of death, being a kamikaze pilot. And fortunately for him, he didn't have to go out on his last mission. For some reason, maybe they didn't have enough planes, maybe there were other pilots who were more eager to go, although he was eager to fight for his country. But he didn't have to go out on that last mission. And that's why he always smiled all his life. And he was a very nice man, but he was also a very tough man. He was not tall, he was small, like me. He was quite stout, but he had immense physical and mental power. I had the pleasure to train with him quite a bit after I started.
Wow.
He only died in 2004 and I started training in 1985. So I trained with him for a few years at workshops, at karate workshops.
Okay.
All over Europe. I went with him. I was a couple of times. I was in Finland. They're very tough for the Finns. The toughest people in the world, I think. That's why they beat the Russians in the Second World War.
What was your experience with Kazi?
Kazi Sensei liked me for some reason. Not because I was a good karateka, but I think he liked me because I was also smiling a lot. And he also liked the idea that I was in the diamond business. He had an ambition. A lot of the karate sensei were good businessmen and made quite a lot of money during their careers. A very good colleague of his, friend of his, with whom he worked for many years, who teaches in Milan in Italy, became quite a wealthy man. But Kazi Sensei never became a wealthy man. He didn't know how to handle money very well, let's put it this way. He may have earned a lot, but he didn't know really how to handle money. He had an ambition. He always wanted to buy a diamond for his wife. He wanted to buy it from me because I promised him that I would sell it to him at cost price. I didn't want to make a profit, and I still sell diamonds today in the karate world.
Wow. And
I don't make a profit on it. I always sell them at cost. I have all of my young family. I now have a young son of a cousin of mine who just got married. He's a captain in the army here, in the tank corps, in the 7th Armored Brigade, very well-known brigade in Israel. He just got married. His wife, his new wife, is wearing a ring with a diamond supplied by me.
Wow.
At source, I didn't make any profit on it. Dovala, I didn't make any profit on it, I promise you. Although he knows it. And Kazi Sensei always had the ambition to buy a stone from me, but he never was able to.
Because?
Because he didn't have enough money. He was living in Paris. He was... in 1965, 4 famous sensei travelled around the world. I think the first place they stopped was in South Africa, because there are some very, very good karateka in South Africa today. And they started with them. Kazi Sensei, his colleague and friend, I think they were friends, Kanazawa Sensei, Nishiyama Sensei, I think, and I think Oshima Sensei, I'm not sure, but these were the top guys in what was then called the only organization in the karate world, the JKA, Japanese Karate Association. It wasn't Oshima, it was somebody else, but it'll come back to me in a minute. And these guys went to South Africa and taught over there and were very well received. They were very, very good at what they did. For instance, we had a man here in Israel who moved over from the school that Kazi Sensei taught to another school. Kazi Sensei taught something called Shotokan Ryu, the school of Shotokan. And he went over to Goju Ryu, the soft, hard school. But he got his first degree black belt in Shotokan from Kazi Sensei. And they were all very good. This man, he passed away a few years ago. He was very well known in Netanya. I trained with him sometimes, even though it wasn't the same school. I was then a tourist in Israel, and I used to come to Netanya, and I used to train with him, even though it was a different school. The punches and the kicks were the same.
Exactly.
Not the forms, not the kata, but the punches and the kicks.
What?
His name was Yuda Pantanovich Zal. Very nice man, but a very tough guy too.
Kazi Sensei, when you were practicing karate with him, would it hurt?
Oh yes, oh yeah. I saw Kazi Sensei by accident, didn't do it on purpose, block a man like this. He broke his arm.
Wow.
He came down straight on his arm. He was much better than I was, because I broke my arm when I brought it down on Dirk Sensei's leg once. I have a steel plate with 6 screws in my arm. And whenever I train, I have to have protection. Not only that I shouldn't hurt myself, but if I block against somebody who attacks me very hard and very fast, they can get hurt from the steel plate. So I have to wear protection on my arm.
So you got hurt and he...
Oh, Dirk had nothing. Dirk was a very, very strong man. Is still a very strong man, yeah. He is my best friend. I'm his son's godfather.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
For the end of this part of this conversation, I would love to hear, as always, a song that you think that reflects your conversation.
Well, let's put it this way. It's not the song doesn't exactly mean what I mean here. That I would want all the old masters to teach us just the way it was. And this song is called Just the Way You Are by Billy Joel, but at least the theme, Just the Way You Are, is the same. I have to read it because I can't remember it.
Please. If you need your glasses.
Yeah, I need my glasses, I'm very sorry. Okay, ready?
We are.
Don't go changing to try and please me. You never let me down before. Don't imagine you're too familiar and I don't see you anymore. I would not leave you in times of trouble. We never could have come this far. Whoa, I took the good times. I'll take the bad times. I'll take you just the way you are. Don't go trying some new fashion. Don't change the color of your hair. Kazi Sensei. You always have my unspoken passion, although I might not seem to care. I don't want clever conversation. I never want to work that hard. I just want someone that I can talk to. I want you just the way you are.
Wow. פיליפ לרר, my path, the way you are, I want to thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Nתנאל.